We turn to Chad because it was a tense week there that saw unrest in the capital, N'Djamena. Security forces used tear gas and batons to disperse crowds who took to the streets to protest against a military takeover following the death of President Idriss Deby 1 month ago. Now, the tension is about the man you're about to see behind me, Mahamat Idriss Deby. He took over after his father's death. He dissolved parliament and took control of the country as head of a military council. Now, he's promised to hold democratic elections within 18 months. Now, DW's West Africa correspondent Fred Muvunyi has been in Chad reporting on the situation. And we can now talk to Fred, who, as I said, is in the capital, N'Djamena. Fred, tell us more about these clashes between protesters and security forces that we've seen in Chad this week.
Yes, Christine, since President Mahamat took over power, there have been crashes, especially from the opposition and civil society groups who are actually saying that General Mahamat shouldn't take the power. And along the way, of course, people have been injured and several people also have been killed, as we can hear in this report.
A painful reflection. Jaslabe Yilmian was shot in a recent pro-democracy protest. He and other activists took to the streets to demand a return to civilian government. But they faced a brutal backlash from the military regime led by the son of the former President Idriss Deby.
We went out to protest and simply to say no because he grabbed power through a military coup. We refuse to accept that someone in the 21st century takes power by force. That is not acceptable.
General Mahamat took over power a month ago after his father died. He has formed a transitional government and won over some key member of the opposition. There is still an air of tension here in N'Djamena. There is a heavy security presence on the streets, and any attempts by activists to start a protest are quickly dampened. And so there is little sign that the political uncertainty is anywhere close to an end. The government says that the opposition need to accept the current situation for the sake of the country's stability.
We find their discontent quite premature. This is not a military coup. It's an unusual situation. We've been attacked by rebels who set off the current political situation. This militant group threatened the country, and the president was killed in the battlefield.
The transition government promises that it will soon start the national dialogue, and Chadians will have a say on how they want to be governed. But many people here want this process to be led by civilians, not the military council.
Fred, the military's promised to hold an election in 18 months that would be closer to the end of next year. Why are people in Chad, young people especially, not willing to wait for that? They seem to be distrustful of that.
Yes, Christine, it's basically because this is General Mahamat is the son of President Idriss Deby, who was killed. And President Idriss Deby was in power for 30 years, and he came to power promising democracy. And for the last 30 years, they didn't get anything, and even their plight did even change. In fact, things got worse and worse. And people are afraid that if they even give him this room of this 1 year and a half, he's going to work hard so that he can stay in power, just like as his father did. So that's where the mistrust is.
Fred, you were in Chad reporting on that election that saw the late President Idriss Deby re-elected. You're back in the country now. What feeling are you getting about the situation there?
Well, there is not so much has changed here in Chad. I would say that people were poor and still poor. The poverty is vivid. You can see that. But when it comes to security, there is tension because they don't know where the country is heading. They don't know. There are even rumors that even the current president might be removed from another coup d'etat, maybe from within the military circles. So there is that tension that anything, anytime, anything can happen. So that's exactly what has changed. And then the protest, people don't know when they are going to stop protesting, because without any significant change, they're saying that they are not going to stop until they see the change they need.
All right, that's DW's West Africa correspondent, Fred Muvunyi, reporting for us in the Chadian capital, N'Djamena. Thank you, Fred.